So a lot of exciting things coming, autonomous vehicles, the Dojo and LiDAR. There's really a war right now in terms of that. But you'll see in Maj's presentation, the autonomous vehicles, especially from a machine learning perspective, will be able to pick up on the types of things that he's developing, which is very, very exciting because there are all these different fields right now coming together, and we will improve our bicycle and pedestrian fatality statistics. So thank you.
Awesome presentation. Thank you, PJ. That was incredibly insightful as to where and why some of these pedestrian fatalities are occurring. Maj, if you'd like to start your presentation and go ahead and get started. We are going to do a Q&A. Absolutely. We are going to do a Q&A at the end, so please hold all your questions. I'm sure you will have some, and then we will get to them. If you'd like to put them in the chat ahead of time as well, you are certainly capable of doing that as well. Go ahead, Maj.
First of all, everyone can see it?
Yep.
Right now? It's all good, Emily? Thank you so much. Great job, PJ. That's amazing information that you put together. And it's so hard to be able to identify all the specific areas and pedestrians. Your software is definitely incredible job. As PJ mentioned, our focus, we are a safety solution company. And my main objective as a traffic engineer was to be able to go ahead and use in-road lights as a tool to be able to address the safety issues associated with many elements. What I'm about to share with you over here is that it encompasses many elements, and I want to open your mind to all the avenues that we're dealing with, and we're going to focus also on pedestrians and bicyclists. First of all, as most of you are aware, and as PJ mentioned earlier, is that nighttime crashes is a prominent in the country, with 52% of US fatalities are caused at nighttime. In reference to statewide, for us in the state of Florida, as you can see over here, there are several lane departure crashes and pedestrian crashes. And this state, Florida, is similar to any other part of the country and practically any place in the world, but just as an example related to us on a state level. On a local level, as we all know, unfortunately, the city of Orlando is a top priority in terms of pedestrian safety and bicycle safety, and we want to change that to be able to find solutions. Top with the fact that we are always dealing with elements, distracted driving, and also inclement weather conditions. But the fact is, we all have a mission, and the mission is that to be able to save people's life. And we believe that we have to look outside the box. We have to be innovative, and safety through innovation is our goal. The main objective of our company is to save lives. As we all know, is that, and as PJ mentioned, and as Emily mentioned, roadway lighting is the key factor here. And there have been many elements have been presented, but the fact is, we do not believe that conventional tools are getting the job done. The crashes I shared with you before are still consistent. So we definitely have to go ahead and look for innovative ways. This is specific crashes that we deal with, pedestrians and bicyclists, obviously, lane departure intersections. But a lot of times when we are dealing with speeding, aging drivers, distracted drivers, or impaired drivers, we just don't have answers. And what we are about to go and share with you is that we are focusing on ways to be able to communicate with those challenging drivers. And that's what we're going to show you in a moment, because our direction is different from others, is the fact that we are looking at it not from an engineering perspective, but actually from a driver's perspective. What the drivers see, and that's what's critical for us. This slide over here represents the fact that, as you can see, the cone of vision narrows the higher that you travel. Just at 30 miles per hour, you see that small circle. This is where we need to communicate with the driver. This is where the area where it's going to be effective to go and give them the message. That cone of vision, that area right between the headlights, is the area where we need to be able to communicate. And that's even under normal conditions. So you can imagine distracted drivers or aging or intoxicated drivers. That's the first area that they will look at. Combined with the fact, all of us we have to have time to react to hazards ahead of us. So we have 2.5 seconds just to be able to have the time to recognize something in front of us and to react to it. Obviously, at that time, it's very challenging for us. And that's why a lot of times you look at it and you're traveling, even if you are totally paying attention, and you look at it and you say, whoops, where did that pedestrian come from? Where did that bicyclist come from? So our objective is, your objective is how we can move the needle. What can we do together to be able to resolve those issues? And as I discussed, we need to have these key elements. First of all, we have to have innovative technology that is self-educated. We can't spend the time teaching drivers. They have to really adapt to it directly. And what I'm about to share with you over here in a moment is that all the examples of many applications that are all FDOT approved. MUTCD, which is the standards for traffic, is already available to us, cost effective, easy to install with low maintenance. The products we have are sustainable because they are solar, and also, most importantly, they are made here in the state of Florida. So can we strive ourselves out of the problem? Can we use conventional tools to be able to get the message across? What really has worked for us and what hasn't worked for us? As you can see over here, we have striped bike lanes. We tried different methods. So let's look at what options that we can recommend. So first, we're going to talk about crosswalks. We have two applications that we're introducing into the market. Both applications are approved by DOT. The one to the left is a wire system that's activated day or night, as you can see in the lights in the roadway, to be able to go ahead and allow for vehicles to see that crosswalk and pedestrians from at least half a mile, if not more. The one to the right is wireless system, and it highlights the crosswalk. It is actual solar lights that are embedded in the roadway, safer for pedestrians to walk on them and bicyclists. And we can go over that in a moment. And they provide illumination where you can see the crosswalk, because you can't really see stripes most of the time. That at any intersection can be implemented. So this is two examples of two projects we've done. The one to the top right that you can see over here with the lights flashing, that is in Escambia County up in North Florida. As you can see how effective the lights, and that's in combination with LED enhanced sign. And the one at the bottom is in combination with the rectangular rapid flashing beacon, or RFBs, and in-road lights. That combination creates a clear message to the driver that they can see from a distance, and it will allow them sufficient time right there in their corner of vision, and sufficient time to stop and see the pedestrian and the lights. The highlighted is, as mentioned to you, it's the same. That's only wireless, and that would be able to highlight those crosswalks at many locations, at intersections, or any other applications we would like to do. We also introduce a concept that's really interesting, because sometimes it's challenging for some people to see flashing yellow and not understanding that it is really a crossing. So we introduce a concept, which is the same thing, that the lights can be red, and that's enforceable. So you know at that time that you can't cross a red light, and that makes it easier for law enforcement to be able to identify that. And obviously for vehicles, they know red means stop. This is a new concept. It's still the same system. We can use any colors or any combinations. We've done numerous crosswalk systems throughout the state of Florida, and we're continuing to do a lot more because everybody sees the benefits out of it, and they feel it's a great safety solution. Most importantly is that the fact that we have several projects that we've done. One of them I want to mention to you is the village of Palmetto Bay. That particular project has been in inception for 2 years. The issue of in-road lights has been the case of reliability. This system has been for 2 years with zero maintenance and zero failures. Everything is working perfectly up to this day. Escambia County, we replaced existing RRFP systems, 5 crosswalks, mid blocks, but they had the RRFPs on the side of the roadway. They weren't effective to get the message across. We did it. We replaced them, and we added in-road lights like you saw in that video before. So it created a better message and a safer crossing for pedestrians. What we're proud of is the fact that with our systems, we provide 2 key effective elements. Time. It is really quick to install. As you can see in the bottom 3, for just existing in-road lights and for highlighted, you have 8 to 10 weeks and 2 weeks that's using existing infrastructure systems. And the cost is very effective in comparison to other options in terms of time and money. Bicycles. As you can see over here, we have an option that is really incredible. And you can see like in the slide to the left that shows the solar markers, the en-road lights are placed at the travel way, and also the other side placed at the edge of the bike lane. This actually concept was really introduced to us when I met with bicycle associations up in Deerfield, in Delray Beach, I'm sorry, at that time. And I was only coming up with the idea of highlighting the edge of the travel way. They came up with that idea and they said, hey, let's double up because it highlights the bike lane very effectively. And you can imagine the tailgate of a bicycle between the white lights flashing red, that you can see it from at least a mile probably. And it's going to be very visible, and it's going to allow sufficient time for you to see that bicyclist and for primary protection. So this is a very, very effective way to be able to highlight the bicycles at nighttime, create a safer environment. And here are many options that we can use for trails to highlight trails areas, bike lanes. It's endless because you can use the existing infrastructure and just place it anywhere you want to place it, at any space that you would like to space. And it will be very effective to be able to provide a safe and great environment for bicyclists and pedestrians on the trails. One of the first projects we are going to be installing is going to be down in Broward County. It's a Riverland Road project. It was initiated by the Broward County MPO for FTOT District 4. It's going to be 3.6 miles of lights. And as you can see in that typical section, it shows just what I showed you earlier, the placement of the light at the edge of the travel way and at the edge of the bike lane. Another option, and I know I want to introduce you to those because it's very important for us as a safety solution. Like PJ mentioned, sometimes along curves and other locations, it's really hard to see people crossing. This is our objective here, is to be able to provide a greater illumination for drivers who are going around curves. This particular picture over here, as you can see, it is in a really 30-mile-per-hour roadway down in Broward County. And we have all conventional tools, striping, markings, signs, including street lights. And all the time, before we installed our lights, the guardrail was hit because people don't have sufficient time to stop. Once we installed the lights, it prevented that guardrail from being hit. And as you can see, the placement of the lights, we placed the lights inside the travel way. And we discovered that drivers noticed that the road appears to them narrowed at nighttime and creates an illusion for them to slow down. So it kind of created a safety element, and we will share that with you in a moment. This is one of our most recent projects. This is on Expressway on the Florida Turnpike, just north of Fort Pierce. There is a curve where people are traveling and they can't see the curve, and we have many roadway departure crashes. No street lights, obviously, on that rural highway. And the video over here is going to show you this video was taken half a mile away. We're starting at half a mile, and we're traveling at 70 miles per hour without the use of our headlights. That's how effective it is that you're going to be able to tell your path at nighttime. The Turnpike is very, very excited about this, and it's expanding to many locations throughout the Turnpike to be able to provide this effective tool to guide the drivers. And you can imagine under inclement weather conditions, this is going to be very, very visible, very effective. It actually, the lights flicker, and it allows the opportunity to be able to see it very effectively at nighttime. Like PJ mentioned, these units over here, we can talk about that. Vehicles will be able to communicate with the lights here, so we don't have to rely on striping or other elements so to create a safer environment.